Yo, what's up? Welcome to my brand new dedicated fighting game channel, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. We got something very special to talk about. I'm not even gonna lie, when I heard this announcement, I actually shed a few tears because this is something very dear to my heart, and I cannot believe that it actually got announced. I did not think that this would be something that would be announced in this type of fashion, let alone just announced, period. But here we are talking about it today. Let's go and talk about what I'm talking about. Here we go. Melty Blood Type Lumina. Yeah, you heard that right. There's a brand new Melty Blood game being worked on right now. We got some details on this game. First of all, it is going to have rollback netcode. Yes, you heard that right. Rollback netcode is going to be in this game. This game is also going to have basically a different timeline as far as the story goes. This game is actually going to be on console as well, and it's coming out this year. So we got a lot of details here. We also got the full interview to also break down too, so we're going to be talking about that in just a second. But man, we can see the characters that they're already showing off. So we can see they have Shiki here, we have Akia Tono, we have Arcade, and we have CL here as well. We see some other gameplay footage right here. So also we can start to see a little bit of what we could expect. So we have the magic circuit down there. The way the meter works is a little bit different. We can see is broken down into like 3 segments. Every time the bar is full, it's counted as like 1, 2, up to 3. We can see the moons are still here. As far as like how they work, you see there's a full moon. Now there's a little bit difference of how the moons work a little bit too, because we start to see a little bit of a difference here in some of these screenshots, but we start to see some of these animations. Everything looks nice. The thing about it is, like, you know, they're making these characters from the ground up. We see EX Edge. I'm guessing that's what the name of the supers are in this game. Man, it looks super good. The fact that they're remaking this in like this fashion, oh my god, I still cannot believe this is a thing. 29 hit combos. So yeah, we can start to see a little bit of different moons. As you can see, Arcade right here is running a different moon. I'm probably guessing this is probably half moon. As you can see, the moon sort of has like a different, maybe, yeah, I'm guessing that's probably half the way it's working. We have some more screenshots here. So once again, just showing off the characters in a little bit of light. I cannot wait till we see some actual gameplay. Okay, so right here, this isn't half. I don't know what this moon is right here. So this is maybe this is the new crescent or something. Maybe they're just showing like the hollow is the crescent or something. I don't know. This is the half right here. But then we also have another moon that's in these screenshots that I want to showcase to you guys. That's also brand new. And it's the, there you go, right there. So we have a moon that has like nothing in it. It's like, is nothing there. I think that's new to the game. I'm pretty sure it was a thing inside the old Melty Bloods. But yeah, we see some of the, you know, wind poses right there. We see some of the versus screens and everything just looking nice. Now, the first thing I noticed when I saw this game is that it basically takes the look of the remake designs of the characters. This is what they're going with. We got some details here as well. So it says modes in the game are going to be story, time attack, and survival. We already know it has online and stuff because they talked about that. And once again, they said it had rollback too. So very good thing that they have that. The new game will be released in English, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean text, and released worldwide. Japanese is the only voices. I mean, it makes sense for typically the type of games they do, but we will have the English and, of course, you know, Japanese, Chinese text. So basically, it's going to be a worldwide release is pretty much what they're saying here. Now, like I said, we do have the official interview right here, like bits and pieces of like the main pieces that we need to talk about all right here. Some very interesting details here too. So first off the bat, the platforms. So it's going to be PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. So yeah, not PS5 and stuff. But I don't really think that's going to be too big of an issue, especially for like people playing in tournament stuff. You know, I don't really think we're going to be seeing like the Switch to like current gen. I guess we can say that now, current gen. I don't really think we're going to see the Switch of that for like the next couple of years until like more of those consoles are like out and more of these games start to like really like, you know, only be exclusive to that. I think that's when tournaments will start to basically start to use PS5s, because PS4 still can like play majority of the games that are out right now and run it pretty well. So nothing real crazy there. But 2021, just the fact that this game is coming out this year, first time we're hearing about it, bam, this year release date and worldwide at that is very good. Can't believe it. Publisher is actually Delightworks. So if you know anything about the publishing works that they've been doing as of late, they usually been using Arxis, but they're actually using Delightworks. For the people who know Delightworks, they're the people that make Fate Grand Order. So if you're interested in that series, you know, they're the ones doing the publishing. A lot of people think, hey, maybe they could do a collaboration character. Maybe like, you know, Saber could get in the game or something. Who knows? You know, they're doing it. Who knows what can happen? But developer is Type Moon here. And Type Moon is not actually the developer. They are the developers of the story and character design. So basically they're working in hand with French Bread this time so they can help deliver the story and the character designs that they want for this game. Last time it was like very loose because it was like their own interpretation stuff, but this time they really want to work with them. They got a lot more guidelines as far as what they want them to do. Let's go and read this interview though, because it's pretty interesting about the things they're talking about. Let's break it down. It says, the fighting game that represents the Tsukihime universe, newest edition has begun. What could be called the origin of Type Moon, the legendary visual novel Tsukihime. Melty Blood is the game created as a 2D fighting game based on that universe. The game will continue the legacy of Tsukihime and Kagetsu Toya with deep and intriguing characters and story, as well as having great perfection as a versus tool. The series was reinvented and polished as it went on and was loved and released on multiple platforms for a long time. And finally, in 2021, with the release of the 20-year wait for Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon, which is the visual novel coming out soon, the newest entry to the series, Melty Blood Type Lumina, is born. And of course, we got some credits. Shout outs to Banana Shiki and the translator of this article, BD Tetra. Shout outs to them. You definitely get those guys a follow. They are working overtime trying to give us this news and stuff like this. So once again, just using the screenshots that we've seen before. So we got some news right here. So 10 plus characters will join the fight. So most fighting games, stuff like that, you know, don't really have more than like, I want to say like 10 to 15 characters when they first start off. I think that's a very good number considering that they're remaking all of these sprites. You guys got to remember that the old game is like very small as far as like the sprite count. This one is very big. There's like a video that someone made showcasing like the old Sion sprite versus the new Undernight version of her, and you can see the massive like size difference of how many pixels are in the new sprites of the Undernight characters compared to the old Melty Blood characters. Very interesting video. Definitely check it out. I'll probably have like something around here about it, but yeah, very cool. Playable characters will be based on Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon. Characters, 10 color variation patterns will be available in addition to freely being able to customize them. Now, this is actually very cool. So if you guys ever played like KOF 13, they actually have like a palette, like custom editor where you can like make like your own skin color, your own like color shirt, your own pants or whatever. So you can choose like different articles of clothing on the character and basically create your own custom palette. This is basically pretty much what it's saying right here, I'm pretty sure. In addition to freely being able to customize the colors that they have. They're gonna have 10 colors per character. We have like 10 plus characters, and then you're gonna be able to customize it. That's really cool. We have rollback already. We have brand new like HD versions of these characters. We have, you know, new colors and stuff, being able to customize them. Everything's sounding really good so far. Like, I cannot wait for this game. Everything looks good. Now let's talk about the story a little bit. So the story is written by Nasu Kinoko. In the single player story mode, characters will go through an event story written by Nasu. Other than that, a limited health survival mode and a mode where you can compete with completion times will be available. Exhilarating battles with simple controls. Control your favorite characters and enjoy a deep combat system. A simple control system is implemented that allows you to get enjoyment out of it even if you do not play a lot of fighting games. Pressing the attack button rapidly will yield to a combination move rapid beat, a simple way of doing powerful combos. So one thing to keep in mind here, guys, is that this is going to be something that is not really going to change much. We can all think about like, you know, Undernight has this feature where it pretty much has like the smart steer feature, and it does combos, stuff like that. Basically, it does like a auto combo and then you have a super, but it's not optimal at all. So if they're going the same route as that, I know a lot of people get scared when they hear auto combos, making games more simplistic, you know, making things easy and stuff like that. I don't really think this is the case in this. I really think this is going to be something that, you know, easy players, people that love these characters and stuff like that, because you got to remember, this is the first time that a lot of people that played the Fate series are going to be introduced into this series as well, especially with the new visual novel coming out, and then they're probably going to want to play the fighting game. That's probably why they're packaging it like this. Which is crazy. Like, who would have thought that they were doing this, but it's happening. And yeah, but yeah, anyway, that's probably what they're trying to do it for. But anyway, it won't pretty much like, you know, do anything to the game. Simple combos won't really change much. Like I said, it's in Undernight and it really doesn't affect it. You literally get like 30% of the damage that you normally should get from like an actual combo and stuff like that. So nothing really too crazy to worry about here. All right, so next thing right here. So first of all, how and why did you decide to create Melty Blood Type Lumina? Why is it that you choose this timing to create the game? Nadita said, the reason why it is we got a call from Type Moon saying we should do it, Melty Blood, soon. It was pretty sudden, I must admit, laugh out loud. We had tons of requests for a while to do Melty Blood HD Remake. We've been asking for that game for years, guys. You don't understand. And we ourselves had a lot of desire to create a new Melty Blood. we asked Type Moon previously, but a lot of issues with the timing and release didn't work out. But finally, because Tsukihime, a piece of Blue Glass Moon Tsukihime Remake was finished, we were allowed to work on this project. So basically, it was something that they pretty much had planned. They just wanted to wait to the right timing. They, like I said, they wanted to package this together. They was like, we know a lot of people want this. Don't worry, we got something coming. Once this is finished, you guys could do it. So that's pretty much what happened. And I mean, it's the perfect time to do it. But it is going to be some casualties along with that. You guys see what I mean in a second. In the initial information, it was revealed that Tono, Arcade, Akia, and Ciel were available as playable characters. All of them are from Tsukihime Remake. But will the other characters also be from Tsukihime Remake? Kamone, a shout out to Kamone. Yes, this is indeed the case. In general, the characters will be chosen from the new Tsukihime Remake. Narita said about this, the cast of the characters have put into by Type Moon themselves. So about this, the cast of characters have okay, I think it's a weird translation. So basically, Type Moon basically put the characters in themselves. They, like I said, they are in the design process. They are doing like the story and the character design, stuff like that. So they're choosing what exactly they want in this game. And I can say that the choice of characters is pretty interesting. Where does the story fall into the timeline? This is very important. It is good. Is it going to be a story closely related to Tsukihime Remake? Yes, the timeline and universe are both based on Tsukihime Remake. Alike from the way the previous Melty Blood titles were based on the Doujin versions of Tsukihime, this one will be based on Tsukihime Remake. Specifically, this will be based on an alternate if scenario that takes place right before Tsukihime Remake starts. So this is where things get interesting. So Melty Blood takes place after Tsukihime Remake, and it has its own manga and stuff like that. But this one is basically a what if scenario. So this is like an alternate scenario that it's probably not even going to be canon to the Tsukihime like actual lore of the first one. This probably just be like a game they just wanted to make just to have it out there. That's why they're doing their own original story with the Type Moon. So Type Moon is like having to play in the story of this alternate what if story that they want to tell. And that's why we're pretty much going to be using the same characters. So I think if the visual novel comes out before this comes out, we could probably see what characters we could expect inside the game. You know, 10 plus roster and not too many characters that are fighting in that game. You know, I'm thinking Satsuki could probably be one, maybe Roa and stuff like that. So not too many characters are going to be able to pull from. So we could probably definitely guess the final roster of the first build of this game, like when the visual novel is done. If the visual novel once again comes out before this, which I believe it does. I think it comes out pretty soon if I'm not mistaken. All right, next question here. You stated that there will be 10 characters available in previous available in the previous version, MBAACC. There were 20 plus characters, with some characters be missing. Will some characters be missing? This game will be based on the universe of Tsukihime Remake, so unlike the previous iterations, there will be a few characters missing. I feel like that if the obligation to talk about this beforehand and with examples, but the previous main characters from the series Sion will be missing, as well as the fact that the game is not based on the Tawtari story. So Tawtari characters will be missing. I would hope that the fans of the series will understand this, and because the previous Melty Blood series was in a after story like position, considering the story of Tsukihime Remake, the decision was made that the making of a new after story spin-off based on it would be premature. The Doujin version of Tsukihime existed, and the previous Melty Blood series was a spin-off of that. And of terms of this game, it creates in order to make the Tsukihime Remake experience more enjoyable. So we hear right out the bat that this is going to be different. Once again, they're going to be taking a different route. This is like a what if scenario, guys. So with that in mind, we basically just have this like new thing going on. There's no Tawtari characters, so that means like Sion Tawtari is not going to be there. Sion period is not going to be there. The created version of Arcade is not going to be there. Walker probably is not even going to be there. I mean, it has nothing to do with Tawtari. I'm beginning to believe that this whole situation, because, you know, the Walker and Knight is like the whole reason why like Nani Ashiki even like existed inside the old Melty Bloods. Nani is not even going to be a character, and I freaking love that character, so that's going to be sad news. But yeah, man, it's going to be a completely different game. I wonder if we're going to be getting at least one new character that's never been introduced to the series, or is it going to be all characters we're familiar with? Because a lot of characters are duplicated inside the Melty Blood, you know, do with like, you know, there's like Schoolgirl Akia and stuff like that. So they got a lot of interesting things that they could definitely do, and like probably pull one or two characters that weren't really utilized before that well. We could definitely see if they could do something with that, but we'll definitely see how the story of the remake actually plays out. Maybe there's a new character or something, considering that they're actually rebranding the story in a little bit and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. About the battle system, so a lot of people want to hear about this. Is there any resemblance to the previous Melty Blood titles? What are the new systems? Kimona said, in regards to the battle system, we tried to make something that feels like Melty Blood. Feels Melty Blood like, while creating systems from the ground up. I can't say that is exactly the same, but shields, heats, aerial combos are a core to the Melty Blood experience, and the game is created around that. So I think I can say that it feels very familiar. As an example of a brand new system, a new resource, and actions that use that resource, as well as many new systems will be introduced. Compared to the previous series, it is likely that the way you move around and play neutral will change. So I hope you're interested on new information we release. So this is very interesting news for sure. So right off the bat, they're saying like the way neutral is going to work is a little bit different. Now, the only thing I think they're really going to probably change, because they're already saying like aerial combos is a core of this game, so they don't want to lose that. They probably may take away like, you know, everybody's like melee in this game. A lot of people got like a jump and like 2 air dashes. They're probably going to take away like one of the mobility options. So maybe you have like 1 jump, 1 air dash, but it's still going to have this like air dash, aerial type of gameplay and stuff like that, where people are going to be in the air a lot and stuff like that. Shields, heats, and stuff like that still going to be in the game. So, you know, all those core mechanics, blood, heat, and stuff like that, shielding for your counter attacks, all that's still going to be there. I'm pretty sure it's still going to have like moon specific things. The moons are still in the game. Now, one good thing to keep in mind about this is like, even if there are only 10 characters in the game, moons typically make characters so unique that people usually consider them different characters. If it's still any like similar to like that, then we could be looking at like a game that feels like a 30 plus roster at that point, because of like how the moons and stuff shape the characters and stuff. So if it's anything like the previous Melty Blood as far as that go, it could still, you know, feel like a robust roster, which is very interesting. And even if it's not going to be that extensive, the fact that you can play your character in 3 different ways will just make it feel good. If you never played this game, you know, being able to play your character at 3 different ways, because 3 different mechanics of the moons and stuff that you pick makes it feel really good about the options and stuff your character can do. Your character can play completely different with these new mechanics and stuff because of how the moons and stuff work. So definitely very interesting. What are some of the key points that you want players to focus on? Narita said, like previous titles, we created characters by inputting 1 pixel at a time. So I hope you like the new pixel art of the characters within much higher resolution. I think you will also enjoy the new outfit designs of the characters and animations that go along with it. Kimona said, in terms of the battle system, I put an effort in trying to focus on what makes a Melty Blood game as much as possible, and design/tune the game around that. At the same time, I also feel that you will enjoy it as a brand new Melty Blood experience. Like I was saying before, they put a lot of work into like basically up-resing these character sprites. All the characters are basically made from the ground up with these new models, with the new designs of these remake versions of these characters, and they're nothing like the old one. The old ones have so many. The old one has like very little pixels compared to the new one, and so it's going to be absolutely crazy seeing these characters in like a very much an HD version of like themselves and stuff like that. It's gonna be very good. Any large changes compared to the previous title? This might be a little bit too detailed, but the game will use an online fighting game technology called Rollback Netcode. Compared to the previous titles, you should feel less lag during online sessions, so I hope you enjoy this experience. Now, I'm super happy about this. I don't think there's a game that French Bread has done that has Rollback Netcode, so I think this is the first time they're going to be doing it themselves. Somebody let me know if they actually done it before, because it's not inside of Under Night. It's not inside DFCI, at least from them. I know that like there's like a fan-made version of it, but yeah, I don't think there's actually something they've done themselves, and it's not inside the Steam version of the of Melty Blood either. It's in the, once again, the community version and stuff like that. So I think this is actually their first version of doing Rollback Netcode themselves. So I'm very interested to see how they actually do it. I remember Kimone was actually on Twitter asking people like, you know, can you teach me about Rollback Netcode when it actually went public for free, when the Cannon brothers were talking about it and stuff like this. So very good. I'm glad they actually he's actually, you know, doing it in his team. I wish them the best, and I hope it runs very well, because this will make this game fantastic. Any final words towards your fans? I'm sorry we kept you waiting for such a long time. It has been 10 years since I practiced drawing an HD size pixel art characters. Since then, a lot has changed, but I also hope that the fans of the Dojin Tsukihime and Melty Blood generation, as well as the new Tsukihime Remake and Fate generation, will both be able to enjoy the game. So once again, trying to bring these generations together, old school Melty Blood and Tsukihime lovers, and this new generation that's going to come from the remake and the Fate generation. So they know new people are going to be trying to get in this game. When Tsukihime Remake was announced last year, I heard a lot of voices asking for a Melty Blood revival and was extremely happy for it. I originally was a Melty Blood player myself, and the reason I entered this industry was because of the Dojin, Tsukihime, and Melty Blood. I hope the fans of the series enjoy the game, and we are working very hard to finish this, so I hope you all are excited for the new Melty Blood. Hey, Kamone, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your team working so hard. We all appreciate it. We just excited you guys, you know, is working on it. We're excited to play it, and I'm pretty sure you guys are absolutely going to kill it. We got one new message right here. This says, what is the appeal of the game from the player of Tsukihime Remake? Natsu said, this time we got a lot of recorded voices for the game. In Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, there were a lot of unique character dialogues between specific combinations of fights, and we tried to emulate that. For example, in a normal battle, a character when hit will say something like, you're pretty good. But when fighting an opponent that is familiar and close to the character, the voice lines will change to something like, you're pushy, or that's annoying, Uzai. So I think this is actually pretty cool. So if you guys ever played like Blaze Blue, you guys know that there's special interactions with certain characters. So one, I'm already thinking they're going to have like unique interactions when like intros and outros, you know, they're probably going to talk to each other in like unique manners. A lot of fighting games have been doing that at least. But now they're taking it to the voice dialogues of the characters are actually going to change when they're fighting. So once again, bringing up Jin and Ragnar, when they fight each other, you know, Jin and stuff, he gets all crazy and be like, oh, brother and stuff. And Ragnar be like, you little bitch and stuff. And like, I got you, Jin and stuff. So they talk to each other in like a very unique manner that they don't talk to any other characters like. And it's very cool when it happens. People love that shit. And the fact that it's going to be happening for this game with all the characters, man, it's going to be it's going to be eye candy, bro. Because you know these characters, when you play if you play the remake, you're going to know these interactions of how these characters feel about each other. So when you see them interact with each other in these like unique ways, I think it's really, really going to like just solidify this game as far as the feeling and stuff like that. It's going to really make you feel for this game for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much everything inside the interview, guys. Man, we got so much stuff. So once again, just to reiterate everything that's happening, we got a couple of characters that are announced, 10 plus coming. Game is going to be out this year. Rollback Netcode is going to be a worldwide release, and yeah, it's going to be coming out sometime this year. And we got the remake of Tsukihime coming out this year as well. So a lot of good news for Melty Blood fans. Everything's looking good. We got a couple of modes in the game. You know, still trying to get that feeling of Melty Blood inside the game without losing its core audience. Is going to have like obviously the auto combo thing, but like I said, nothing to really worry about because they have that inside Under Night, the smart steer, and it doesn't really affect anything. It's just for players who just want to play the game and like, you know, not having to want to learn like obviously the hard stuff and stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to be super like, you know, something super crazy or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this for sure. I'm super ecstatic for this. I'm super excited. If there's any more news, if there's any gameplay, I will be covering. I'll be reacting to it. I love this series. I can't wait to see more. Let me know what you guys feel. Are you excited for a new Melty Blood title? Were you expecting this at all? Let me know what character you want to see inside the game as well. Definitely want to hear that. Also, let me know what you guys think about the new mechanics that may come. What do you think they may do as far as new mechanic? They did mention a new resource that's going to basically have mechanics inside of that resource as well. I'm very interested to see how that works. I mean, obviously there's basic meter, but I hope we don't have a grid system inside here. Oh, please don't put that. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.